Hey, welcome everyone to another video. We are super excited because we got our hands on the Mavic 3 Pro right here in front of us. In this video, we're gonna break it down. Well, actually, we're not gonna break it down. Stop breaking stuff, Paul. We're gonna talk about the camera system, most importantly.
That's right, this is a triple threat drone like everyone's been talking about, and as you can see at the front, it's a triple camera system. Now, it really is, after flying this, some of the most fun that I've had creatively in a while. It actually made me a bit excited to sort of experiment with the different lens options, because traditionally most of the drones, the Mavic series, you've just been stuck with the wide 24mm, which is still really nice lens, and you get really nice picture out of it. This one has 4 color profiles. You've got the variable aperture. However, you always need to work a little bit harder in your composition to make the subject look more dynamic. I'm gonna skip over the lens I'm most excited about, but the second camera is one that we had already seen in the previous iteration of the Mavic. That is a 166mm focal length. That was sort of found in the explore mode, or you would zoom and then when you get to 7 times it switches to the tele camera. This time it's dedicated to a locked aperture, which is now 3.4. Previously in the old iteration it was 4.4, so it's an improvement there, and now we can actually adjust the shutter that you only have one color profile there. But that being said, you really get what I guess we like to call the Michael Bay shot.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
It's nice to have, I guess, the next iteration or next evolution. The one that is the most exciting is this mid-tele, which is an equivalent to 70mm. And that unlocks a whole bunch of potential, and it's kind of my go-to at the moment now.
Let's talk about the color profile. So we've got 3 different cameras. Now, in regards to the log, D-Log M, it's only available on 2 out of the 3 cameras. So we're talking about the 24mm, which is the widest that you can go. That's got all the color profiles, including D-Log and D-Log M. And then also that 70mm lens, that really nice looking lens, that is also available with D-Log M.
Yep.
Just not that 7 times telephoto lens, that's not available in the log profiles.
And I guess it's important to remember also that because these are all different sized cameras, they're all different sensors, they are still putting out some really nice imagery, but they all have their limitations. So, you know, the smaller sensors go, the less options we have, like color and also aperture. So the 24mm, you have an aperture from 2.8 all the way up to 11, but unfortunately the other 2, you are locked at the aperture. So you don't have the aperture to be able to control exposure. So if you're looking to switch between camera types, you have a similarity in color profiles between at least the 24mm and the 70mm, which really gives this drone a real boost in its creative abilities.
When you're switching between the cameras, you're saving so much time, number 1. And number 2, you're already in that shot, switch the camera lens, and you're off capturing a different look of the subject. Where you were filming me running on the pier, I was filming you running on the pier, and just those difference in shots just looked amazing. And traditionally with the Inspire series, the Inspire 1 and 2 and 3 now, the fact that if you want to switch out the view or the lens, you're going to bring it back down, switch the lens out, calibrate it, do whatever, go back up, and then you can start that shot. But the fact that it's so small, it's in the air, you can just switch between it. It's a content creator's dream, really.
Yeah, indeed. So talking about sports mode, man, this thing can move
fast.
and it is stable as hell.
Yep.
I was tracking a boat that was out on the harbour there, and I was on sports mode. I had to be with the 3 times the 70mm. It could keep up with the boat, no problem.
Yep.
And just the confidence that I had in terms of maneuvering this drone at that speed and how steady that gimbal was fantastic. It really got me excited about shooting moving objects. We also played with the 166mm, the super long, with the smart feature, the Spotlight, which also has Active Track 5.0, and you had me there standing like Jason Bourne, but doing the Michael Bay move, and footage looks sped up. It's not sped up, it's real time.
I just went hard left on the sticks and as fast as I could, and it was on an angle like this, just going a perfect circle. The kind of shots you can only get from a really heavy rig drone with 2 operators.
Or a helicopter.
Yeah, or a helicopter with a shot over. Opens so much stuff up, you know, for content creators, travelers, like, you know, even film production. And who was it for?
Well, me, I want this.
Oh,
no, this is a a creative juggernaut in terms of the ability to open up all kinds of new and interesting ways to shoot subjects without needing to land the drone and switch out lenses. Because this is essentially 3 different lenses on a drone. Sure, they have their limitations in terms of color profiles when you get up to the 166mm. You know, you show a client that's 70mm compared to what they'd usually expect, and I think they'll be very impressed. If you've got the Mavic 2 and you've been holding out and you sort of missed that first generation of Mavic 3, 100% jump into this drone, because looking at the current DJI website, the Mavic 3 seems to be discontinued.
Yeah.
It's unavailable.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of pushing everyone into this, which makes total sense, because why would you get the Mavic 3 original when you've just got those 2 lenses?
Yeah.
And from around about the same price point anyway, you've got the updated version with an extra camera.
With the price, if you are very serious about it and you want to get the Pro Cine bundle, which comes with the DJI RC Pro controller, you have 1 terabyte of internal storage, and every single camera can shoot ProRes, the Cine version is actually cheaper with that combo than the original Mavic Cine that came out. This one that we've been testing out is just the Mavic 3 Pro with the DJI RC controller. That's about $3,099. But we would recommend sort of stepping up to get the RC Pro controller with the Flywheel kit. So, I mean, you are jumping up another sort of $2,000, but if you're serious about it, it's worth upgrading to that, because that 70mm is, you're going to get so much more out of your drone in the air for your clients on every single shoot that you're going to be doing. The 166mm is there, it's nice, but those 2, you've got establishing shots with your 24mm wides and your 70mm for more compressed cinematic shots. I mean, those 2 cameras there are worth the price for me.
Spoken about how amazing this camera is. We know how amazing the Mavic 3 series is, just the way how it flies, the foldability, portability, all that kind of stuff. But there are a couple of little features of this drone that could be changed or improved. Main thing for me, I noticed with the RCs when we were flying, it was very slow. Probably a little bit too slow for my liking. So if you can, upgrade to the RC Pro. I just found that
You're talking about switching between...
No, the actual controller. So when I'm flying, like going in between menu systems, hitting play, going back a step, going forward, like it just took a little while to get going. And I think it's got to do with the processor in the controller. And then what you just mentioned before is when you're switching between the cameras, remember you're not just switching out between lenses, you're actually changing cameras. So when you switch between the 3 times and the 7 times on the controller, there is a bit of a gap.
It's about 2 seconds or so.
Yeah.
It could be the difference
just
between
to keep
getting a shot and missing.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know, because if you're chasing a car, for example, and it's about to hit a nice, cool, turn or a drift or something, and you want to change lenses, just be mindful that it'll take a couple of seconds and you might miss that moment. So
prepare for that. Overall, are you happy? Are you excited about this drone?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, it's like, as you said before, when you switch the camera to the 3 times or the 70mm, it feels like when you switch the lens on the Aspire to a 45mm, you just have such a different view, and that's what you're getting from this.
The 70mm is, I'm going to use the word again, game changer. It just made me so excited to fly this drone, especially, just chasing whatever I could out on the bay. It made me feel like, not the first time I've flew a drone again, but it just unlocked all this potential from what I'm used to seeing from a Mavic like this. Sure, we get those out the Inspire, but not a drone of this size in caliber. And the new edition of D-Log-M, which they might have created from scratch with the limitations on the processing power or the software or just the hardware due to the sensor size. It seems like they might have created this little D-Log-M to be able to match those 2 lenses. So they're not forcing users to pick between which lens they want and which color they're going to have to try and match to in post. At least we have one option there as an easier grade. And this is the way DJI are thinking. They're looking to innovate and give... Lights going out, that's fine. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I know we have waffled on a little bit there, but it was kind of a brain dump after we've had a chance to really get our hands on and test this exciting new drone. Thank you very much to D1 for lending this to us. We promise we will give it back.
In one piece.
Yes, and if you are interested in picking this up, there's a link in the description for the D1 store. Head on there, check which one might suit your budget. Yeah, I guess that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Happy flying.